Hello, my name is Roberto Hernandez Jr., and I'm gonna be talking about addressing underperformance and social responsibility for Apple Incorporated. Um, my college is Colangelo College of Business, Grand Canyon University, and my class is gonna be for leadership and organization. Dr. Dana Davis. Um, all right, so let's go. Here we go. My introduction it's Apple Incorporated is a global technology company known for its innovative products, iPhone, Mac, and iPad. I'm sure we all have, probably, I would say a lot of us have an Apple product. So I'm gonna talk about it because I think it's something that it's awesome and I have experience with. So yeah. So also, despite the strong financial performance of Apple has faced criticism regarding social responsibility, in particular in its supply chain practices. Also, the focus of this presentation is on the dimension of social responsibility where Apple is underperforming. Okay. Problem identification. Major issue, Apple has been criticized for labor practices in supply chain, including poor working conditions in supplier factories. So that's something that it's been talked about a lot. Um, Secondly, underperforming dimension social responsibility to the community and the environment. Something that it's also talked about. Another problem identification is going to be evidence. Reports of unsafe working conditions, excessive overtime, and labor relations in supplier factories. So I'm pretty sure if we look for more into depth, it's going to be something that they've been trying to for years to get Apple to be the production to be done in the United States, not in overseas or anywhere else. Okay. Ramifications of underperformance. Negative impact damage to brand reputation, customer, and potential legal actions. The other one's going to be likely consequences, continued criticism, and possible loss of consumers' confidence is not addressed. So, on the consumers, I understand because it is an issue. Sometimes I feel like it's not there. It's just so automatic, but there's not a lot of the you know customers that feel right now, like for example, it's like, okay, the battery dies super fast and you're always charging, and they know about it here, but we still have to walk around with a charger. So I think that's something that it hasn't been addressed. um, Organizational analysis. Current structure. Apple uses a hierarchical structure with strict control over suppliers. Design and culture focus on efficiency and innovation but lacks sufficient oversight in supply chain management. That's big, that's huge. Impact of social responsibility. Limited transparency and weak enforcement of ethical standards in supply chain. Citations. So yes, that's gonna be with Bazaar 2012 in China. Human costs are built into an iPad. The New York Times. That was something that it was. That citation that I found really good. Conscious culture and management. Limited alignment with conscious culture principles as supplier well-being is often secondary to cost and efficiency. That's sad, but it is happening. Adopting conscious culture can improve supplier and relations and brand reputation. Well, I can totally see that, and see how that's difficult. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with what's going on with the conscious culture and management in Apple, but that's something that they need to improve in their supplier relations and brand reputation. I mean, the reputation's there. I mean, I think ever since Steve Jobs, he passed away and so on and so forth. But I believe that they lost the vision that he had the Apple with, just improving everything and just top of the line. So that's kind of sad. Improvement plan, Cotter's 8-step change model. Number one, establish a sense of urgency. Highlight negative media coverage and brand impact. That's a huge one. Okay. Number two, form a powerful coalition. Include senior management and supply chain executives. Yeah, that's important. Three, create a vision for ethical responsibility supply chain management. That's something that I would consider a lot too, is just ethical and responsible supply chain management. That's something that's very important. Four, communicate with the vision, share thought, internal channels, training, and supplier arrangements. Agreements. So that's also important. Communicate the vision, share your thoughts, internal channels, training, and supplier agreements. Five, empower broadest action. Allow suppliers to report issues without retaliation. Wow, that's a big wow. If you have to allow the suppliers to report issues without retaliation, if they're voicing that, that's hard, because you know what? That's something that, retaliation is huge in any business or company that you work for. It's something that it's sad, but it happens, and that's sad. Number six, generate short-term wins, improve conditions in pilot suppliers locations. Yep, agree. Seven, consolidate gains and produce more change. Expand, improve practices to all suppliers. That's a good one. I like that one a lot. You need to improve practices to all suppliers. I think that's something that definitely they need to improve of. Number eight, anchor new approaches to anchor new approaches in culture. Make social responsibility a core value in supplier policies. Agreed, 100%. 100%. Agreed. So those are the eight Cotter's 8-step change model. I think those are really important. These eight are the ones that should be our priority, in my opinion. If you go by it and do it, I think you're gonna be in good hands, and not only that, but it's gonna speak volumes. Challenges and solutions. Resistance from suppliers overcome through training and incentives. Yes, I agree. Secondly, monitoring compliance. Oh, important. Strength auditing and mechanisms. Compliance is something that it's huge. I'm a huge believer in compliance. That way, everybody stays in check. Thirdly, realignment of subsystems, integrate social responsibility, metrics, and supplier evaluations. Agreed. Agreed. Lessons learned. Importance of importance of balancing consistency of ethical practices. As a manager, focus on transparency, ethical leadership, and supplier engagement. That's huge. I agree with that one. Citations, I found it with Carol 8B 2016, Carol S. Pyramid of CSR Training, Another Look, Internal Journal of Corporate Social Responsibility. Potter M.E., Kramer M.R. 2006, Strategy and Society, the link between competitive advantage and corporate social responsibility. Harvard Business Review. Lessons learned. Apple's success highlights the importance of relentless innovation, prioritizing user experience through intuitive design and seamless integration. By focusing on creating products that delight customers, Apple forged an emotional conception, fostered brand loyalty, and remained a dominant force in the tech industry. Conclusion, guys. Conclusion. Addressing social responsibility is critical for Apple's long-term success. The improvement that plans ensures ethical practices while maintaining supply chain efficiency. Oh, I like that a lot. Well, guys, now I'm going to